Hey, what's up guys, this is Liam or Weagle on your Destiny, back with a new video. Today we're going to be talking about the Hunter class, and specifically the subclass Night Stalker. When Destiny 2 came around, I knew all the old stories of Destiny 1 and how Hunters have been through some tough times after being pretty OP at the release of Destiny 1. And now I thought maybe we're going to get some fun out of Hunters and they're going to have some crazy stuff to do. But unfortunately, I did draw the short straw a little bit, like I'm sure many of you did too. However, there is a bit of a bright side, and there are some contexts where Hunters are still really good, even if they're not as good overall as some other subclasses within the game. Now we're going to talk specifically PvP and PvE today, because even though the super itself may not be the best, some of the kit is amazing for PvP in particular. So that's actually what I'm going to lead with here today. So there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of people talking about this. So there are two classes here that you can choose from, the two different trees, and this top class here is what I want to talk about first, because the snare bomb can apparently actually be thrown behind an enemy and it will come up on their radar as a decoy. So it will confuse the hell out of somebody, and when it pops as well, it slows and disorients them. So it's a pretty good nade actually, and it's not in the nade slot, it's in the melee slot. So you can leave this on the bomb plant or even on a flag or something, and it will seriously screw with people. They have no idea where someone's coming from. This has happened to me, and I thought the guy was cheating, and then I found out later on that it's actually this grenade that is doing that. On top of that, you have Keen Scout, so tethered enemies are easier to see and hit, and we'll go a little bit into that in a second. We've got Deadfall as well, which means Void Anchors fired from Shadow's shot become traps and wait for prey. Void Anchors have increased range and last longer. And this last one is another very important part of this and why it's so good for PvP, and that actually is Vanishing Step. Now this is good for PvE also, but we're doing that second. You can go invisible in PvP, and also when you do this, the enemies cannot see you either on their radar, and if they can just make you out as an outline, they don't have the aim assist to easily snap to you and deal damage. Now this is insanely good because it comes back very fast as well. Now personally, I like this dodge to give me more ammo to then make a flank and do more damage, whereas some people may actually want this here so that if you dodge near an enemy you go invisible and then you can melee them as well. So that's kind of up to you and on your personal preference. But this class is actually more like a support class that you would see in an MMO or in Overwatch or something. So when you get the super, actually what you're probably trying to do is either hit a load of enemies to wipe them in a round very easily, or you're waiting for an enemy super that could kill 3 or 4 of your team, but you can completely deny that with your Night Stalker super because it anchors them, they take loads of damage, and you can wipe them out very quickly. So it's not so much an offensive class, it's more of a niche pick class, and it becomes really powerful when you utilize it in the right situations in PvP. This is particularly good for trials where you're probably up against harder opposition, where you can go invisible, you can throw a decoy behind them, and this class is really strong for that. So I'd recommend that you do try it out. Now one thing that I also do have is the Foe Tracer helmet, and I may do a full video on this, but this goes really well with this class too, because you can actually target enemies and then there's a crosshair wherever they are on the map for a certain amount of time, so you can see them through walls. This again is particularly good for PvP. Now there are some gauntlets and things in the game that are better for PvE, but this class in general for PvE is probably one of the best for the same reasons. One of them is you can go invisible, so that's awesome because the bots generally can't see you. Sometimes there's some bugs if you go invisible near enemies too much, but it's really good for rezzing up your teammates. And also the Vortex Grenade, and this again is personal preference in PvE and PvP, but this one specifically is awesome for doing damage over time. So whether you get to the dogs phase in the raid and you've got loads of multipliers, well if you tether and throw this baby down, it's going to melt through the dogs very quickly. Also what this does again is a very good supportive element when playing PvE. If you put down some tethers and you kill 10 or 15 enemies with it, when they all die, they all drop tons of orbs. It drops loads of orbs. So again, maybe you're not doing as much as you would with another super. However, you're helping your team out. The same in the late round that you would in PvP, where you can go invisible or throw a decoy behind someone to save your teammate or help them out. Well, it's the same in PvE as well. Now, I'm not trying to say that the hunters are the best class, because they're the worst by quite some distance overall, but there is some kit and utility there to be used. There's specific gauntlets that I don't have yet. There's some great attachments too. So what I'm going to do is actually a full hunter guide as soon as I have all of that stuff kitted out. I was thinking about doing it today, but I wanted to make sure I have all the right stuff. But just overall, just the way I've explained this, I hope will show you guys that there's definitely places this can be used, and in some cases might actually be better than some of the subclasses in the game. It doesn't matter if Titans have 2 nades if you're invisible and you shoot them in the back. So guys, let me know what you think. Anything I either missed or got wrong, or great setups that I don't know about, comment section is the place to go. Be sure to check out our Twitter, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you guys get notified when our videos go live. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.